History is more than rhyming just now. News is being put out that governments are going to ban crypto. But understand this is a bullish signal. Those who are new in this market, the crypto space, needs to understand this. Back in 2017, when different coins were skyrocketing, governments like these were also coming out. We have had prices in different assets skyrocketing like what we have now in this bull market, and different governments put this one out saying we are going to ban this. So first from India and then from China. They also showed you that red flag, but you know how it all ended with a massive bump again, like 10-20x in December 2017. So when you guys see all of this, you have to rethink before you take any kind of decision. I still remember the finance minister of India back in, before the pump, say around June, July in 2017, saying crypto is a Ponzi scheme, you all will lose your money. The sheeps left the market, but the smart money made 10-20x over the profits they were already having in the crypto market. So it's really important for you to understand what's happening. Otherwise, they're gonna kick you out by doing something. So when this is happening in 2021, you're looking at the market and it's like bombarding. Should you want profits? You should really know the reality. You should know that this is really happening, and if you become rich or super rich, why would you live in a country where they take your taxes and doesn't give anything back to you, right? So that is the reason politicians will already push these kind of stuff. So even if you are rich, you won't be able to go out. Meaning, if I take an example, look at India. HNIs, which is high net worth individuals, more than 18,000 of them move out each year towards Canada, New Zealand, Australia, or any other country where they take taxes. Okay, we agree, but they give the service back. So these kind of stuffs will always happen. Governments will come out, say we are going to ban. So right now, when you see this in 2021 Jan, I kind of go back and think about this because I saw this in the market September 17, 2020, and they just updated this stuff. You have to understand, back in 2017, they came out and said the same stuff. So they were all putting this news out from 2017 early. Then they were kind of pushing that narrative even more. So say here in China, this news shows you September 11, 2017. They were all pushing for the same reasons. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. When mass media puts this kind of stuff out, trying to scaremonger you and push you out of the market, you need to understand they will try all the different narratives. In India back in 2017, they did the same. By early December, mid-December, they were kind of able to push majority of the market participants out, and then the smart money made the profit. You know what happened by the end of December, right? So you'll never be able to understand what they are trying to do. But if you look at history, it's more than rhyming itself. Say here, I put this alert when we were going to take profits. Now, the charts were already there for them. They understood what the pattern is, where the entry is, and what our targets are. So when we are going at resistance, when we are going to go down, you get the alerts that you should be taking your profits. And you can go to the market and look at what happened after that. Now, this is Voyager showing you that massive gains. And if you are looking at the market, you can understand we almost already reached 70 to 80% of where we are. And those who are following me took that profits. So it's kind of killing it in the group. As the market is pumping, you can see XRP is also joining the party. In yesterday's video, I gave you the reason why I am thinking about the same. Because, when people, I can understand easily that majority of individuals are not completely watching stuff. And, that creates an idea that not everyone is going to be profitable all the time. Why? See, before this pump even started, I kind of showed this Ripple's response to SEC, and there is going to be a price explosion, and it's near, right? Before that, day before yesterday, I put this one out. Retail herd is going to come. Money is going to enter into crypto. And when you see the crypto market right now, yes, we are still above that 1 trillion mark, and it's rebalancing. Why? Bitcoin dominance is still going to the downside, so you're not seeing the entire crypto market going to the upside. Instead, some of the alts pumping like crazy, right? So I just showed you different coins which pumped crazy. So some of them like 30-40% a day. As I showed you, Voyager went 80% yesterday. So if you are following these coins, you are making significant profits and putting that profit back into an asset which you are accumulating, right? Let it be crypto or any other safe haven assets. But what you have to understand is, if BTC dominance is falling to the downside like this, it broke down, it went back, retested, and then going back down. This particular horizontal line here, 62.66 in BTC dominance, is acting as a support, and then it became a resistance. Now it's going to the downside. But do remember, on a daily chart here, BTC has already crossed to the upside in RSI, but looks like it may go back down. But if the MACD is going to cross instead of a bounce, it may reverse. So the market will go up and BTC will also join the party. That means the alts, when alts are pumping 10, 20, 30%, BTC will also move 5, 6, 7%. That's how the entire market cap will rise. Now this is XRP USD on a 3-day chart. When you look at this, yesterday I pointed out, or even a week back I was pointing you this, we broke below, we created that rounded bottom, we came back, retested and got rejected. Now we are going back into the trading range, and all of these knowledge which you are gaining, see the accretion from last 3 months, 6 months, you're actually able to get into this. Why? Because you have that concreted foundation. And now when you look at the charts and the fundamentals, you are able to understand this is going to pop off. And that's why yesterday I told you guys, and this is going to pop. And it really did happen, right? So those who are following the Scientific Investor from last 6 months, at least before the pump of November, I was talking about the same. Those who were here in August were already accumulating because we were expecting the same. Now, when you look at the 3-day chart, you have one stuff. This first horizontal line here was a resistance. Now, you have to understand, we tried it once, twice, third, fourth, fifth, and this is the 6th time, and we broke above that. Each time price test one particular level, chances are high that it is going to break. So now that we broke above, we may come back down and retest that. Always understand, if you see a pump, there should be a correction. That's healthy. Otherwise, no one is taking profit. The market will go like Dogecoin did, and it will drop like a stone. Do you actually want that, or you need sustained growth? For me, I'm looking for sustained growth, a continuity in the market cycle. So yesterday I highlighted this too, saying we are at the bottom in XRP BTC pair. Look at what happened after that, a 2,500% pump. What happened here back in 2017? 5,000% pump. Where it started in this range. Now in 2021, look at where we are right now. So this is why I always say you should understand where we are in the market cycle when you are positioning yourself. Because if you are able to position yourself at the bottom of a market cycle, you don't have anything to worry about in the rest of that market cycle. You would just have to sit back, enjoy the ride, and keep your emotions out. Be patient. Money is being transferred from the impatient to the patient guys, and to the extremely patient guys. Now you have to decide whether you need 1 to 5x or 10 to 100 or 1000x. So that depends upon your level of patience. So until you are doing that, you won't be making significant profits. XRP BTC pair on 4-hour shows this one. Yesterday I highlighted, we came back, retested and got rejected, but we were showing upside momentum, right? Now we came back, retested that, broke both of these resistance, and now we are above this. So that's actually a bullish symbol, but do understand there will always be correction. So once we correct a little bit back, that means a lot of new buyers are entering, and these wicks shows like guys are taking profit, and when you come back down and go back up, that means price came back, but there's a lot of new buyers interested in this market trying to buy. So here, when you look at the daily XRP USD chart, you can see the volume pumping. Last time when the volume was pumping like this, you know what happened, right? Ultimately, we went like 220 to 30% in a week. Now, yeah, looking at Dogecoin and others going 500% in a day, that's, not huge. But if it is a sustained growth like this, say 100% here, 100% here, and then we got 220%. So next time, even if we are getting that 200 to 30% pump, that's okay because it's still following the pattern. 100, 100, then 200. So I was expecting like next one is, if it is 500, I'm happy. But even if it is 200, I'm still happy. Now the average for these would be like 150. So even if this pump is ending around 150% and then correcting back, it's completely fine, right? That's how the markets work. So when you zoom in and look at, you can understand that there are support lines which are being respected. The price is really respecting these levels and currently flirting with the resistance. So yesterday I also told you guys we would be having that resistance around 0.3 to 0.33, 0.35. And if we manage to break that, we would be going towards 0.5. Now look at the price and say what really happened. I don't have a crystal ball. All we do is technical analysis combined with the fundamentals. And yeah, we get it right for 70 to 80% of the time. Now that when the price is going down, people are panicking. Now, if you go into XRP USD chart, say a shorter time frame chart, at least 4-hour chart, what you can see here is that the price went up. It came a little bit back, but it did that retest, which it should. So if we are getting this pump, people are anticipating that the market is going to go sky high. Say here in this tweet, David Joss or Joel Katz kind of highlights this. It wouldn't surprise me if today's rally in XRP is people trying to get XRP before they think lots of other people are going to buy. All these February 1st pump and dump groups. Now that means people who listen to the instructions are going to buy high, right? Say you're putting your profits or money aside in the sidelines waiting to buy XRP on the February 1 and you kind of get, a huge pump before that. So that's kind of, you're going to miss out on the real ROI on that particular trade. Now, he highlights this too, that is really important here. And if the anticipated pump doesn't happen, they'll be the first to sell. So you should not be the guy who enter at the late party and then kind of start crying that it's not happening. But if it is pumping like we have in the indicators, it's really cool. Now, 2 days back, I told you guys, look at the monthly candle because the month is going to end and the monthly candle is going to give you that symbol what we are going to have next month. Because anyway, whenever a candle is nearing its close, you kind of get the volume back. Look at a weekly chart, daily chart, or a 4-hour chart. By the end of that candle, it kind of either reverses or, get more volume, find its actual macro direction. So here, we changed our macro direction back in July, and in November, we pumped crazy. Yes, there were a lot of profit taking, SEC news and other stuff, which pushed us a little bit down, but we were still holding that macro trend line and now moving above that 50-day moving average on a monthly chart. That is significantly bullish if you understand what I'm saying in a technical side, because when you enter into a weekly chart, price is right now above the 50-day moving average, which is the support. I told you this too. I think last 1 week I explained this. If we are bouncing from the 50-day moving average and if we are able to close above the 200-day moving average, that's damn bullish. Now that we crossed above this particular resistance level, which you can see here, it's going up. Now, the next resistance level which you should be looking out is for this one. Why? Because if that is going to break, then we are going to reach the target which I told you after that November's pump ended. Right? When we came all the way back towards 0.1675, when people were saying, okay, I'm moving out, I told you, no, this is going to go way higher. If you understand the relationship between XRP and Ether or XRP XLM, or if you follow it with another asset, it's cool. I personally do it with XRP Ether or XRP XLM ratio. So based on that ratio, when I look at Ether's price right now, I feel like XRP should be around $1.2 to $1.8. So from the current price, that's a huge rise in ROI. So if you are looking at this, you will understand what's happening in XRP price is anticipated. These were already in the technical analysis, right? So if you are looking at that break from this pattern which we talked about previously, or even from the current price level and then pointing it towards that $1.8 mark, it's still like 300% gain. So we were anticipating that, right? Those who are here hearing or listening carefully to the scientific investor already understood this is going to happen, and they positioned themselves here. One of the main reasons for that is this trend line holding strong. Now this trend line has to be thicker because, even after SEC came out, pushed the price down, it was still holding this rising trend line, showing the bullish attitude of buyers outcoming the sellers. Now on the technical side, you kind of get all this information highlighting, yes, we are going for a ride. Why? Because we have already managed to close above this long-term trend line resistance, and then we are getting that bounce from there. So this massive bump broke about that long-term 2.5 years or even 3 years resistance line, and we came back, retested that, and now bouncing. That's also showing you the bullish attitude of the market. Now, when you go into the technical side of this and combine it with the fundamentals, you have a lot of documents which kind of gives you that perspective clearly. So this is one among them. If you are looking at this, you understand this is from OECD, where, there's a lot of nations following this report. While for most type of crypto assets, there is now broad consensus on the recording, deliberations continue on the recording of cryptocurrencies without a corresponding liability that do not yet act as a general medium of exchange. So first thing you have to understand is we are looking for a medium of exchange and we are working on that, right? An important question regarding this specific type of crypto asset is how to account for their creation. The interim guidance regards them as being produced by miners, but an alternative is to view the miners as being remunerated with already existing coins in the exchange for the provision of validation service. Guys, those who understand this will look at this and say, okay, so the financial infrastructure is going to change, and how it is going to actually impact this. These issues note further considers these questions, taking into account the interim guidance for other types of cryptocurrencies. This will feed into a paper with final recommendations on the recording of crypto assets. So this is not going to end well for others, right? So when they highlight other cryptocurrencies, what are those? Such as XRP or Ripples, rely on a network of approved validators to validate transactions in the system. This is known as proof of authority. Now, combining proof of work and, looking at both of them together, that comparison gives you the idea that, okay, governments are not going to do this. Why? When you come here, it shows, for Bitcoin, they're giving you the example. Bitcoin will receive amounts of Bitcoin in addition to the transaction fees whenever they add a new blockchain. So for the blockchain, the procedure is to set up in such a way that new blocks are added on a regular basis, say 10 minutes, which means new Bitcoins come into circulation on a regular and frequent basis. Now, once the network is congested, this is not the case. It takes more time even to combine the transaction. So then we come here. Visa, another network, doing this transaction on a global stage, is now looking for cryptocurrencies. For what? For their payments. So looking at these reports from OECD, IMF, BIS and all which we have gone through previously, do you think they are going to use proof of work based system to delay the processing? Because they can already scale hugely. Like say Ripple can scale around 65,000 transactions per second. If you go into Ripple's website, you can see what I'm saying. It's including the offline transactions. So that's like about the Visa's scalability right now. That's not a small stuff because Visa is there from a long time compared to Ripple, and they can already do this. Why? Because they are using that technology. And that's why we are looking at these kind of stuff. The decentralized enterprise and the future of work. The future of money is changing. Now, if you agree with that or not, it's really happening. The common man understand this and they are trying to move because of the revolutionary items happening around the globe. They are all looking at this. When the government is moving in with their CBDCs, one of the main advantage for Ripple, the company, and XRP, the asset, is that they've been working with regulators all across the globe, and now at least some of those regulators understand that this is the opportunity for them. So there were questions related what really was happening in that crash, kind of Robin Hood and other GameStop events. David Choss kind of gives you that idea. Each person who shorted the stock borrowed an actual share of stock from someone who had just purchased that share of stock on the market. If you go through that series of tweets, you'll understand what it is really highlighting. When people talk about the crypto market, when we say, okay, crypto is like 1 trillion market, it's really small compared to what it should be. And then they look at the market cap of different assets and say, okay, so this particular asset won't be able to go any high. And I'm like, okay, why would that be the case? Because governments are printing money like they have diarrhea, right? They don't even have control over that. You look at this and say what really is happening. They added $19.5 trillion as debt just during the current health crisis, the pandemic. Wow, think about that. Around $20 trillion, which is the size of the economy of US, they added in a year. You know how much year it took for US to reach that level? So that's it. If they really want to print those amount of money, it's not going to be a big deal for them. And the existing money, which is in the securities market, the derivative market, transactions, the payments market, every assets, it's way, way higher than that because these transactions are being repeated. Say I send you a payment, you send that payment to someone else. So the same payment is going through in different side. So the transaction market and the back-end processing is huge. Those who understand this value, understand where you are in the market cycle and combine these two to make the most out of it. If you are receiving value for your time, I definitely believe you are going to hit that like and subscribe button. If you need charts like these, you can think about following the Scientific Investor in the Patreon group. The link is given in the description and I will advocate that you can start from tomorrow, which is February 1st. Which won't let you pay twice. And if you are entering right now, then don't complain that the Patreon is charging you twice. So I'll say have patience, wait for a day and enter the next one. I'll meet you guys on the next one. Bye for now.